Calling Sally because I wanted her to answer some questions about insurance that I get from sharpeners all the time. And I'm going to put her on speaker. And I'm hoping you can hear her.
Hey, Ms. Bunny.
Hi, Sally. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you?
Yeah. I just wanted to record some of the your answers to some of the questions, if you don't mind, that I get from the sharpeners.
Sure.
And I just wanting to start this out saying that I'm not. This might sound like a commercial to people for your insurance agency, and it's really, you've answered so many of our questions that we've had about insurance, and you've treated us like you would treat I think you said your dad. You picked out some of the same insurance programs for us that you picked out for your family members. And when I find someone that can give us good advice, because we've had so many people with bad advice over the years, that I like to share your information. But we're not, Bonika Shears or Bonnie McGowan, we're not making any money off me having you explain things to people and offering insurance that you have or other people would have, correct?
Sure, yes, definitely. Yes.
And one thing I wanted to say, Sally, that you don't know about, we've been doing Bonika Shears for 30 years, and over the years, we have really tried to find good health insurance for sharpeners, because a lot of people can't get into the sharpening business, at least not full-time, because they miss out on the benefits. And so that's not always true now. So the questions I had for you, and let's just start out, most of our sharpeners are independent, one-person operation. Maybe they've got children and a wife who would like to quit her job and just help him with sharpening. What kind of insurance should that person buy? I mean, what do they need to have?
So as far as health insurance goes, they have two choices. One, they can enroll through the individual marketplace through the Obamacare if they qualify based on the income. Now, if for any reason the income is too high and the premiums come up too high because they don't qualify for subsidy or cost sharing, then I can recommend going through their business name. So the policy will be written as a group under their business name. There are two advantages to that. One is tax write-off, because it's a business health insurance policy offered by the employer. They get the full tax write-off. And second, a lot more companies will participate. Through the marketplace, there are limited 3 companies in Georgia at the moment. But with the employer group plan, you need minimum 2 people to enroll, and maximum can be 100 plus. And then the carrier choices, you can go anywhere from Humana to United Healthcare to Blue Cross. Every single carrier participates in the employer group plan. So I would evaluate one-on-one, case-by-case basis to see who would qualify where. I will evaluate the plan and the premium and then advise which one is better for that individual.
Okay, 2 questions that came to me when you said that. Can the 2 people be the husband and wife?
So some carriers offer husband and wife, but in some instances they need one outside employee. It could be a brother, it could be a brother's wife, it could be other relatives, but it cannot be an immediate family member. This is something that recently changed in the last 2 years. Before, I was able to do husband and wife as a group. But as long as there is one owner and one W-2 employee, that group qualifies. Even if it's the owner that doesn't want coverage, but one of his employees needs coverage because he has medical conditions, I can still write a group with one person. Kaiser will write it. So I have some carrier choices there, but like I said, I have to evaluate to see where they would qualify and what the premiums would be with the structure of their company and all of that.
Okay, and going back to you mentioned the Obamacare, the marketplace. Most people just go online and try to tackle that themselves. Is there a reason that they should actually go through an agent like you or someone in their area?
Yes, because the Obamacare application is so tedious that if you answer a question incorrectly, the premium, the cost sharing does not calculate properly. So all in all, you lose out because the system does not autocorrect. It just goes by like a script. And so if you answer a particular question incorrectly, at the end, you would pay more in premiums. But we do this every single day, so we know how much cost sharing should be. So if the numbers don't match, we know clearly there was something that was not done correctly. A lot of people come to me when the application is already messed up, and then I have to clean it up. I have to get it done correctly. Sometimes it's not ideal to delete it, so I have to go in and I have to edit it and make sure that the calculations are done properly. So, and then also the plans. A lot of people just look at the summary of the plans and enroll, and they don't know what's in the fine print. When we go through the agent training, when the plans are rolled out before the marketplace opens up, they give us the fine print that certain things are not covered, certain doctors are not covered, certain hospitals are not covered. So you wouldn't know all of that, and you enroll, and then you're out of luck because throughout the year you can't change the plan just because you enrolled in a wrong plan. So, for example, Blue Cross Blue Shield has a small X next to it. That is our way of telling that that plan is very limited. So a lot of things that you need to look out for that a normal general public would not know, which is what they provide to us in the training. So it helps when I know what I'm offering, and when the person has certain conditions, I know which company is going to suit for him, which company is not going to be the best because they don't have good doctors or whatnot. So I can give them those choices, and that's what I do at the end of the day. After I do the application, I give three plan choices. I tell them why the first is better, then the second, and why the third is, worse than the first. So I give three choices, and then the client picks which one they want.
And does it cost them extra to go through an agent when they're doing this Obamacare?
So it doesn't cost them extra. The premiums are the same. Cost sharing is the same. It's just that if I have to help them throughout the process, the insurance company doesn't pay the agent. So to do the application, I charge a small fee to do the application to help out. Doing Obamacare, they have made it so, like I said, it's very tedious. I have to upload from your Social Security card to your tax return to your immigration. I have to upload everything. Even if it's a person born in America, they still need to see some kind of proof of ID. They need to see the Social Security card. Used to be everything was synchronized, like automated. So it was less work for me. Now one case takes me a good 1 hour or sometimes two, depending on how many people I'm enrolling. So it does consume a lot of time, and sometimes due to the immigration or whatever, if they don't qualify, I have to get on the phone, and it's a good 1 hour hold with Marketplace, and I have to get the supervisor to help me. So I charge an agency fee, but again, it depends on case by cases. If I feel like it's a clean cut that I don't need to do too much work, then I can help people out, without charging.
And then progressing on, a lot of sharpeners are older. And like me, my Medicare, I go on Medicare in July. What advice do you have for those of us that are at the place I am, just pre-Medicare, but the cost of regular medical insurance is just astronomically high? And then also, what advice once we go on Medicare?
So two things. One, you are getting closer to getting into the 65th birthday. 3 months prior to that birthday, look out for the Medicare ID card, and then also reach out to me so I can see what medications you take, what kind of medical conditions you have, and based on that, I can evaluate and see which plan would fit your needs. A lot of Medicare Advantage and supplement plans comes with perks. They give you supplemental benefits which are no charge to you. So I can see like I said, every year they come out with these new plans with the new supplemental benefits, dental, vision, hearing aid, over-the-counter medicine. So every company is out there competing against each other. So one wants to be the best than the other. So when I evaluate based on your, profile, I can see which company will fit better. And then before Medicare, if you are already uninsured, making sure that if you qualify for Medicaid, go ahead and apply for Medicaid, because that is also a process. By the time you get the Medicaid ID card and Medicare card, we can put the pieces together so that way you are dual eligible. If you're dual eligible, there is zero out of pocket. You do not pay anything, not even a copay. So based on the income, based on the assets, I can recommend that, hey, you would qualify for Medicaid, go ahead and enroll in Medicaid. So by the time you come to your 65th birthday, everything is in place and we can just go ahead and enroll you for the dual eligible. And that way you don't have any out-of-pocket expenses.
Okay. I think that answered the questions there. Now let's go on to this other part. The sharpeners are out there working. They no income if they're not able to work. If they break a leg, if they have a car wreck, what type of insurance that's affordable? I mean, what should they be doing as far as protecting themselves and their family with that?
So there is something called short-term plan that is out there for people that lose jobs, that are in the transition between one job to the other, or they lost employer coverage, or they just lost coverage because the payment didn't go through, or they did not qualify based on their income. The short-term plans are offered by limited companies, but those plans are available on an emergency basis. So if your income is too high, those plans are reasonably priced. You can enroll in those plans at any given time. There is no open enrollment for that. And it can go month to month. So you decide you want to go for a short-term plan. You can do a monthly, or you can do a 3-month term or a 6-month term. It can go all the way up to 18 months. So if you know that there is no other choice for you, at least enroll in a short-term plan. That way, if you have an emergency injury, sickness, you can visit urgent care or you can visit the emergency room. It does come with a copay, it does come with a deductible, but the only thing that it does not cover is a pre-existing. So if you have a pre-existing and you already know that you need an ongoing medical treatment, that plan is not for you. That plan is for people that are only looking for new injury, new sickness, coverage for new injury and new sickness.
And then the question that I get more than anything else from sharpeners, especially new sharpeners, is, do I need business insurance? Now, remember, they don't have an office. It's just them in their car going into a hair salon or dog groomer to sharpen.
Right. So what they need is 2 types of insurances. One is professional liability and one is a GL. If they were to walk into a salon and accidentally either they slip and fall, or the sharpener, while doing something, someone else gets injured, there is a liability to it. And if you don't have this kind of insurance, then it falls under your assets and anything that you own. People can easily sue you. And these days, people don't sue you for 50,000 or 100,000. They sue you directly for $1 million. PL, which is a professional liability, and a GL, which is a general liability, those 2 insurances would not be as expensive because it's a one-man show, or it's maybe less than 5 people on board. So we can always look into the pricing. I have a way of shopping around, so when I'm looking for a quote, I don't just go to one company, I go to 30 companies and I see who has the best price. And then every year I do the shop around. Even though the renewal comes back with a cheaper price, I still do the shop around just to see if the market has changed or if there is a company that would offer it for a less price. But those 2 types of policies are always recommended to keep in the pocket, because you are more prone to being sued than anything else. It's easy money for people to sue you for a small mistake, even if it's not, intended. It's just a mistake, but still they want to sue you and get money. So it's better to have that kind of coverage before you get yourself into, a job site.
Okay, and that can be reasonable if it's covering just the one person, right?
It is. And when we do the quotes, we do put in all the companies that would take a brand new venture versus an existing. If it's an existing business, then, if the person has been doing it for a while, they do get credits for being experienced in the field versus someone coming fresh off. It might be a little bit more. But again, once he's on the books for at least 12 months, he will automatically qualify for those credits that the other person gets. But it's always a good start to keep the minimum coverage, and then if you're growing and if you feel like you need more coverage, we can always increase that.
All right, and the only other insurance, I'm sure you can think of some others, but the only other insurance I can think of is, having some life insurance, especially now, with this coronavirus, people are, within 2 weeks are gone sometimes. So what about life insurance if they've got children or wife or what have you?
Yes, definitely life insurance is something that every person, at least the bread earner, should have because it will protect the family in case of life's loss. It also helps if that person is declared disabled, partial disabled, if the person cannot do the three important things in life, which is wake up from the bed by himself, brush the teeth or feed yourself. The three basic things that a normal person can do if the doctor writes him that he is partially disabled. There is living benefits that are paid. So if that person is the breadwinner and nobody else is working in the family, at least the family has something to go by, and so that insurance will pay off. There are a lot of other insurances that they can get. Key employee of the business, if that person is the key owner and then he goes disabled, those insurances will help him recover the income loss. So those plans are definitely recommended, and there are different policies that could be offered, but depending on the person and how much income loss we are talking about, we can look into the different plan options. We can go into the term, or we can go into the whole life or universal life. So yeah, that insurance is definitely something that the person should have if he's going in as a business owner and there's nobody else that can help with the survival of the family.
Okay, and I mean, insurance is one of those things we all have to have. Any other things? I'm going to echo here.
Yes.
Anything
Yes.
else that you feel like we need to fill in here that
Yes. So there is one more thing, workers' comp policy, which is required even if the person is an individual business owner and he is by himself at the moment and he would in the future end up getting additional contractors. If he's a contractor, he needs to have a base policy. It's called a ghost policy, meaning he is a business. If in the event he was to hire somebody just for one assignment or multiple assignments, and that person ends up getting injured or dies for God forbid, but if that happens, the family of that person can easily sue the owner, and you do not want to lose everything that you have. So having a workers' comp policy will also help the owner if he was to have these small projects, assignments, and he takes a person, even though he's a 1099, that you still require by law to have a workers' comp policy. So that is also another policy that is become very popular, meaning people know where they can go in and sue you, so they are looking for those things. And also you get a violation if there's audit, and if you get notified that you did not follow the rules and you did not have a coverage, there's a $1,000 violation ticket that you would get. They will tell you a warning, but you still have to pay that $1,000. And those policies are extremely I wouldn't say cheap, but they're not priced $1,000 definitely. So we can always look into it and see, is it worth it for me to get it? Because depending on how many projects you do, or how often you are on the road in the car at a job site, it's always good to know that those are the policies that you should always have.
I know we have workers' comp because we have, employees here, but back in the early days, when I was independent, and then once in a while I'd have somebody work with me and help at a hair show or paying them as a 1099. I didn't know I was supposed to have that on them, so I've learned something there, Sally.
1099 the rules have changed. Recently I had a person that called me and said that they got a warning ticket because they're like a construction worker, so they don't have, it's maybe one project, two projects, so they don't keep that person on payroll. They only pay them per job. And he got a ticket. He had to pay $1,000. So he came to me and I had to quote him. Of course, the quote was almost $800. So if he were to get the policy, it was $800 versus him paying $1,000 ticket plus the $800 and getting the policy. So it was crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's been real helpful. Anything else that you think of that that our sharpeners would need to know? Now you work with more than one state as well as but if they're not in the state that you work with, they can just find they need to find an independent insurance.
Yeah, I can assist them even if they're anywhere in the U.S. Even though I'm licensed in Georgia, I can easily acquire a license in that particular state. So first I would get them quoted, and then if they decide that they would like the policy, then all I have to do is get a non-resident license, which doesn't take much. So I can still assist them in any state that they need help with, because most of the companies that I work with, they are all throughout the United States.
Okay. See, that was the problem we had in the early days when I was trying to find group insurance, and we were forming groups in order to get insurance for sharpeners, and finally that just dwindled away. So I'm glad to know you can do that. That's been a quest of mine.
Also, commercial insurance. I don't know how sharpeners set up their business, but if the business is set up in a way where the vehicles that they drive to a job site, if the vehicle is titled to the business, then they need commercial auto. The personal auto will not cover it. Or if you hire an employee and you say, can you take my car and go get this sharpening thing done today? If that person is on his way with the owner's car and he gets into a wreck, that person's injuries will not be covered because he needs a non-hired auto policy on the business owners. So those are the types of things that you need to look at. How vulnerable are you when you're doing things? Because we feel like, it's just one 15-minute trip, but that 15 minutes could cost you if that person gets injured or dies during that 15-minute trip. So I would go over all of those benefits and explain what all the business owners' policies will include. And then, of course, these are things that are optional, but I would highly recommend, when I talk to the person, I ask them, how do you do business? What exactly from start to finish, how do you do it? And then I recommend that these are the coverages that you would definitely need.
Okay, yeah. Well, Sally, this is why I wanted you to talk to our sharpeners, because you were able to sit down and talk to us and explain things in a way that we understood, and in a way that I felt like you cared about what was the best for us, and knowing our economic status and our liabilities. And I haven't had that from any other agents I've talked to over the years, so I appreciate you.
Yeah, no, even if I don't know the answer to something, I can always find the right answer because I can talk to the underwriters directly and give them the situation, the scenario, and get the answer. So I will definitely try my best to get that person the right coverage and the right price because, when I told you, I have my own business. My husband has his own business, and I look at it. If I'm selling the insurance, that person should better be covered the whole 9 yards. Otherwise, it's no point in buying the insurance.
Okay. Well, I'm going to show the little film next that you did and explain about what all you do and who you are, so they can see you. And if they need to contact you, I'll have all the contact information there on our Facebook Sharpeners Jam group page, and you're a member of our group now, so you can be there and answer questions if they have them, right?
Sure. So do I need to log into the event, or is it a live event where I need to click on something? Is it like a Zoom event?
No, it's going to be through the Facebook group, and it'll be a live stream. And okay. I'll let you know exactly what time I'm going to have you, so you'll be available for that time, okay?
Sure, definitely.
Hi, my name is Lakhani, and I'm an insurance agent. I've been an independent insurance agent for almost 14 years. I have a lot of industry experience in insurance regarding health, life, auto, home, business, commercial liability, general liability, professional liability, workers' comp, renter's insurance, and any other insurance needs that you may have. I can also assist you with Medicare for seniors, and I can assist you with any other insurance policies that you may need for me to review. I can do a free quote, and I can also provide you with the best advice possible. I can help you during this pandemic. There's a lot of people that have been calling me regarding business insurance, questions regarding business income, loss of use. I can assist you and guide you in those matters. I can also assist you with life insurance. A lot of people are panicked if their families will be covered, if they have sufficient coverage, if they need to add additional coverage. I can assist you with that. You can definitely call me at 404-587-7519, and my email is sallylakhani@gmail.com. And you can email me your current policies. I can review it and I can give you the best advice possible. Again, you can call at 404-587-7519. Thank you.